Morning, guys. How you guys doing? This is a second video to the last video I made about Christopher. Christopher, in the last video that I went over, unfortunately, he passed away due to an incident involving his son. His son basically got in an altercation with another middle school student. The child was 14. So just to summarize from the last video, apparently there was a dispute between Christopher's son and another kid, which prompted the kid to bring two other teenagers and two adults to his house, where one of the adults told the father, if he doesn't come out and fight, you're going to have to fight in his place. This is where I bring the updated information that was missing from the last video. This dispute is about, unfortunately, only $30. Well, not unfortunately, this is a petty fight over $30. And all the articles I could find and read, none of them go over the $30 of what it pertains to, whether he owed, took, or stole, or whatever. Can I get my hands on that information? It's just overall $30. Now, as it currently states, there has been no arrest on any of the five suspects. And the reason that I think, or I'm trying to figure out, or my opinion is, basically, there's been no arrest because, as they've stated in multiple sources, Christopher apparently threw the first punch. So what ended up happening was, it seems that Christopher walked out of his house, confronted the five individuals, and then he was the first one to throw a punch at one of the suspects, and the one suspect fought back, hitting Christopher and knocking him out outside between two cars. As he fell, he took, I believe he took some head damage or head trauma. And then the five suspects kind of noticed that he wasn't moving correctly, or he wasn't getting up after he got hit a few times in the head. And he started to bleed. So once they realized that they really did damage to him, or basically put him in a state where he could die, they basically left the scene. And then what ended up happening was he was taken to the hospital. They tried to do emergency surgery on his head to put him back to normal, but unfortunately the surgery did not go through as planned, and he passed away at the hospital. This makes me really sad. This whole thing should have not, just like explained in my last video, there was so much that he could have done differently to change the altercation, but in the heat of moment, not everybody makes the best decisions. It makes me sad to see a father who was just trying to protect his son pass away, especially when this could have all been avoided. The worst part, this is over $30. One person's life was taken away over a measly $30. And I believe the reason why there's been no arrest is because Christopher technically would be the aggressor in this situation, because he's the one that walked out of his house and started throwing a punch. In one of the articles that I read, the wife stated that it doesn't matter whether he threw the first punch. The fact is that this would have never happened if the five suspects, or five individuals had never come to the house to pick a fight with their son. Which I kind of agree to a certain degree. You should not have, especially to adults, this is like completely dumbfounds me that you have one teen to another teen, and so there's three teens involved. So the one team brings two other teens, which totals three, plus two adults, and all of them are like, yeah, let's go to this guy's house and let's pick a fight. And we're just, this wasn't thought out through by anybody. And then the second part of this is that, I don't know how to say this. I understand, we all have to follow laws, but I guess I don't understand the fact that no one's been arrested, and just probably because Chris threw the first punch, because the guys basically stated that if his son didn't come out, the father was going to fight. The dad was doing his best just to protect his own family, but it does seem because he threw the first punch, it seems more like the other guy was just defending himself, hence why there's probably been no arrest. At least that's my opinion, or my take from this whole situation. Yeah, man, this is just one of those things. I know in my last video, someone posted a comment about self-carrying, protecting yourself, and you know what? I self-carry myself here and there, but not everybody, you know, carries. Not everybody wants to carry, and then some people, if he probably did, he probably didn't have the response to go get his protection from inside his house. He probably thought he I don't know what he thought, but I guess for him the best course of action was to walk out and just like tell him to like leave. He probably didn't think too much of it, or he was probably pressured into going out because his son was probably nearby. In this kind of situation, the best thing he could have done was told his kids to like go into their room, lock the door, and then call 911 and just stay inside his property. But unfortunately, he walked off his property, walked out, and basically got verbally with one of the other suspects, and then threw the punch. You know, didn't end up so well for him. I've been, like I said in my last video, I do a little bit of kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. I recommend most people to at least give it a try, to at least understand how it feels and how an actual fight works. It's actually very mentally draining and physically draining, and a lot of people tire themselves out by being extremely tense. It also teaches you to to think a little bit more I don't know how to word this. I guess to think a little bit better under pressure. It's easier to make suggestions and tell people what to do when you're the third party and you're not in the situation. It's another to be in the situation and then be under all that pressure. It's the best way I can describe it. So this is just an update from the last video. If I get any more details, I will let you know. But as it stands right now, no arrests. And I really do feel bad for the father and the wife, who did not prompt any of this or did not want to take part of any of this. They were just going about their day when all of this unfolded very quickly on them. Yeah, like, if you guys have any more information you guys can give me on this video, or can point me somewhere where I can get more. But so far, that's all I found. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and please let me know what you guys think.